rolling, Mikey?
We're rolling, baby.
Oh,
Sweet.
shit.
Yo, Dented Cans, welcome back. Another episode. I'm your host, Mike Finoia. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, rate, review. Goes a long way. We're brought to you by Sunset Lake CBD, handcrafted CBD from Burlington, Vermont. Go to sunsetlakecbd.com and use promo code DENTED for 20% off. sunsetlakecbd.com, promo code DENTED for 20% off. I'm here with my pal. I'm so glad you're here.
It's good to be here, bro.
Mike Yard. What up, man?
Thank you for having me, brother.
Dude, I've been dying to have you on to chat. We were talking about why Dented Cans. You wanted to know.
Yeah, because I used to work in a supermarket, and I know that, like, once a can is dented, like, people don't want to buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you have, like, a bunch of dented cans in the back.
Exactly.
So I'm like, but there's still, the food is still good. So that's why I was like, ooh, that's an interesting name.
Think about comics, right?
Yeah.
Think about comics. Aren't we all kind of dented cans, right?
Yeah, we are.
We're all on the discount rack of entertainment.
We got issues.
We all do. But the shit inside is good. Most of us.
Yes.
Some of it's fucking cream.
Some of them are just psychos, but
Yeah.
we're not.
We're not.
We're not.
We're good shit.
No,
We're good shit. And I've been excited to have you on. I ran into you. We did Tom Papa's Christmas show together, and you were hilarious, dude. You played an elf.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. Yo, I love Tom Papa, man. He always puts me in these positions where I get to do stuff that nobody else would think that I could do.
I know. I know.
Because if you look at me, you'll be like, I'm not casting that dude as an elf. But Tom Papa's like, yeah,
That's
Mike
my
needs
elf,
to be
dude.
an elf. Yeah, that's what I love about that dude.
He's
man.
amazing, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's got his own way of doing this business, and I just love it, man. He's got his radio show. He's got his, the podcast. He's doing theaters. He's writing books.
He
He's
actually booked me as a writer for an NPR show that he was working on called, I don't know if you remember the Prairie Home Companion show.
Yeah, Garrison Keillor.
Okay, so once he got into his shit, he had some issues.
And he rubbed someone's back, I think.
Yeah, he did some weird shit, and then they kicked him off, and so they gave the show to this brother named Chris Thiele, who is he's like a virtuoso with the mandolin.
That's
which
right.
is weird as hell. Like of all the instruments that you could have possibly chosen, like he just fell in love with the mandolin, and he'll do anything. He'll do hip hop on the like this dude is amazing with the mandolin.
He's incredible.
So they gave him the show, and Tom Papa was the head writer, and he booked me as one of the writers for the sketches that we did in between.
That's so
the
cool.
musical sets, which was really cool. So I love him forever for that.
He's a great dude. And
that's my guy.
And that was at Town Hall, right? Isn't that where those were recorded? Because I went to a couple of them, and it was so neat.
Well, it was all over the country, but
He did a
Town
couple
Hall
at
in New
Town
York,
Hall, yeah.
And then we did Carnegie Hall.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So that helped me fulfill the dream of performing at Carnegie Hall.
It's amazing, man.
Yeah, man.
What other dream rooms have you done? Like big halls and theaters like that?
I think Carnegie was the biggest one. I didn't even know about Town Hall, but I did Town Hall before I was even on the radio show. I did it as just doing stand-up. They booked me to do, because they always have a stand-up on the radio show.
Right.
So they booked me to do stand-up, and they were like, we fucking love this guy. And there were no black people on the show, so they were like, we could be around this guy. so they booked me to be a writer and a performer on it. So I did the sketches, and we wrote sketches, and it was cool, man. It was a great vibe. I enjoyed that year. We did some really fun spaces. We did Chicago Symphony.
Nice.
We did Wolf Trap. We did the Grand Ole Opry.
Oh,
dude,
wow,
that was
dude.
crazy to me because I used to watch wrestling in there, bro.
Yeah.
As a kid in the 70s and 80s, man, they used to do wrestling at the Grand Ole Opry.
Absolutely, man.
And it's like an old ass church that they turned into a performance. It was dope, man.
That must have been amazing.
I love him forever for that, man. I got on some really cool stages because of Tom Papa.
He's
That was
badass.
pretty cool.
He really is a good dude.
Yeah.
I love him a lot.
Yeah.
And but you've had writing experience before.
Yeah.
With Larry and all
With the Larry, yeah. Well, I wrote, a lot of the stuff that I did, but I was really hired as a contributor on the Larry Wilmore Show. So I wasn't hired as a writer, but I
know you probably
you sit
wrote
down
most
and
of
you
your...
write all of your stuff because, nobody can write
for your
voice.
voice.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would just, I loved it though. I took it really seriously. Like I always did research. Like I wasn't one of them dudes getting on TV just talking out of my ass. You know what I mean?
No.
Like when I went out there, when I had information, it was verified and verified and verified. So, you know, because I never wanted to be that dude where people like, you don't know what the hell he talking about. Some people just go on TV and just talk, bro, and they don't know what the hell they
I know,
about.
right? That's basically 95% of them.
I love that show.
That was a killer show.
Man, if I would have got 5 years out of that bitch, I'd be rich right now.
How many'd you get?
We only got 2.5.
Oh, halfway there.
Yeah.
Now, if, you know, like with Daily Show and all that stuff, you know, like, is that something that, like, with the change of the guards and all that, would you want to get involved with that show? Go back to doing it?
Well, you know what?
Nowadays,
if you would have asked me that like 5 years ago, I would have said that. But right now, I'm interested in selling my own shows. That's my thing. Like, I'm just working on ideas for television shows that I could sell, and that's it. Like, I don't want to, because what really rubbed me the wrong way about the nightly show was that my destiny was in somebody else's hand, and if they didn't really take it that seriously, then, and it's no knock on Larry, but he really didn't want to be there. You know what I mean? Like, he wanted to be in L.A. I knew that. I saw that because he used to fly back to L.A. every Friday and then be to work late on Monday because he was homesick. And I'm not mad at him for that.
Yeah.
I just really don't like to be on anybody else's time. So I figure if I sell my own show, then it's going to be on my time.
On your time.
You know what I mean?
And the amount of energy that you, because I know exactly what you're talking about. When you're, and that's the thing I struggle with quite a bit, where it's like, I almost get in my own head where it's like, oh, I'm not as important to you as you are to me or as I am to me. So now I have to kind of almost like pump the brakes on how excited to get or how deep into this shit, because you have to put thought into your own show. I have to put thought into my own show.
Yeah.
Because if someone all of a sudden doesn't care about what we're doing, then like, what's the point, right?
Then we're out the building.
We're out the building. Yeah, exactly. I mean? And then
I went
what?
through that when we did a show. We sold a show to Spike TV years ago. This is like fucking. I'm sorry. Can I cuss on this?
Fuck yeah, dude.
All right, cool.
Dented Cans.
So this is like fucking 15 years ago. We sold an animated sketch comedy show to Spike TV.
Okay.
Right? And I was just a writer, and I did the voice, some of the voices on it. Like, we were all like, it was so dope. They animated all of us, so I was like a little cartoon character that looked like me.
Nice.
It was crazy. It was really, really fun. And but I wasn't the producer. I wasn't the EP, so I was working for somebody.
Right.
And then we went into a situation where we did the pilot, and they loved it, and then they asked us to write 6 more episodes, and then they wanted us to do table read. They were like, really, they put you through this shit, right?
Yeah.
So they asked us to do a table read in front of a live audience, and we did a table read for an animated sketch comedy show and got a standing ovation. So these people were like, well, maybe we should make this like a live action show because these guys are really, really good. We didn't realize how good they were. Yeah. And now our EP, once he hears that, I don't know if he was starving for money or whatever, he starts flipping out like, well, that's going to be more money. Like, going through all this shit, and we're like, listen, man, we haven't even like gotten a show on the air yet. Like, just relax.
Yes.
Like let them go through whatever process they have to go. He didn't want to hear none of that. He was going in and this and that, and we asked him not to. He was like, what he did was he went over the development people to the vice president, to the president of Spike TV to complain. Like these people to him didn't matter. He was like, I need to speak to people who make decisions. Oh. I'm like, let them go through their process. And we all said that. And I said to him, to his face, in our meeting, I was like, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Please don't do this. And he did it. And guess what they did?
We'll pass.
Kicked us out the building. I begged them not to do that.
Why would you do that? Like nothing gets made, and you're there. You have a standing O. They have a note. Let the fucking ink dry and then be a pain in the ass.
Exactly. Let them do what they're going to do. Oh, why do I have to talk? This was his arrogance. Why do I have to talk to people that don't make decisions? I'm like, because that's why they hired these motherfuckers, to develop your show.
Right.
And here's the crazy thing. The development people, they really always had good notes.
Yep.
Like all their notes was like made the show better.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you doing this, bro?
Yeah,
like,
perhaps they know what they're doing.
Not to do it.
Yeah.
Yep, and he did it.
Oh man.
But he thought he knew everything. He thought he was the smartest dude in the room because he sold the show. You sold the show because you did. He did. What do you call that movie? Boomerang.
Okay.
And House Party. So he got a name off of that.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the only reason that he was in the room, because he got a name off of these two movies.
His ego was just talking too loud,
was
man.
just out of control, bro.
Oh, that's fucking
And I'm like,
crazy.
dog. He's like, we got a hit show here. I'm like, no, we don't, because nobody's seen this show yet.
Right. Right.
So how do you know
Yeah.
we have a? You know how many great show? What's the name? Leslie Nielsen had a show, Police Squad.
Police Squad.
I don't know if you guys remember
Of
that
course.
show.
Yeah, of course.
That was an awesome show that nobody watched.
Right.
And then everybody watched it after the Naked Gun movie.
Yep.
Because sometimes you're just either not promoted well or you're not there at the right time.
That's the thing. It might just be straight up timing.
And
It may
that's
have
what
been
it
against. It may have been against, like, Hunter,
Exactly.
or whatever at the time. At that whatever was big, and
Yeah.
it's like, oh, we're not gonna put. But it could be just like, yeah. Afterwards, it became a thing. Like
Yeah.
then they watch.
Then
yeah.
everybody went back and watched it.
And someone had the note. Why don't we do a movie? What if
Exactly.
Leslie Nielsen was like, no, fuck that. I'm not doing that. Then
Yeah.
what? Man,
Because
I'm
he
sorry.
knew what he was doing was funny. He knew. If you watch Police Squad, man, that shit is hilarious, bro.
Unbelievable.
It is hilarious.
It's almost like a play on those old like radio show
Mm-hmm.
detective. What was he called? Sam Spade, was that his name?
Yes. Yeah.
And you could hear like when he was walking up the stairs and it was like that clip clop shit. I used to geek out to that shit. Like my uncle had a ham radio from the Navy,
Oh,
and I would
shit.
sit in his little library thing, right? He was cool. He had all weird shit. Sherlock Holmes stuff everywhere. But I used to
Dope.
get on that ham radio and just play with all the different bands, and there would be all those old-timey radio shows would play in
Yeah.
like Canada and England and stuff, and you'd hear like the door opened and you'd hear and it's like, then you watch these documentaries and it was like just two people in a room
Yeah.
with a bunch of props and shit.
Yeah.
And that was wild how
Yeah.
that used to be like people would sit around the big radio.
And look how far we've come now.
Now we're talking.
We got all kinds of crazy, like,
Oh, hold on. Someone's coming in the door.
Uh-oh.
Oh, it's Donald
We
Trump.
got all kinds of crazy special effects and stuff now. It's
crazy.
so different how the game is. But you watch Police Squad where the one thing that sat so vividly in my brain was I was watching one episode where he was in a shootout with a criminal, and he ran out of bullets and he threw the gun. And I was like, this is insane. And they're like this close to each other. Like
Yeah.
they're just hiding behind garbage cans.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
Oh,
it was
I love
just way
that.
ahead of his time. It's like Airplane really made Naked Gun work.
Right.
When they did Airplane,
Yeah.
and they took advantage of that type of comedy. You
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
That's what made Naked Gun work, and that's what made people go back and watch Police Squad, because they didn't even know that shit existed. It didn't last that long.
It was so dry and it
Richard
was
Pryor's
so
show didn't last that long.
No.
Because he was way ahead of his time.
way ahead of his time. Yeah. Were you a big like Monty Python and Benny
I
Hill
love
and all
Monty
that
Python.
shit? Yeah.
Yes, I loved Benny Hill. Hell yeah.
I grew up on that, watching it with my grandfather and shit, but I didn't get it, but I knew it was funny. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's that
How
stuff.
old are you?
I'm 44.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm 54, so I
So
got
10
it.
years on me, yeah.
Yeah.
But like, so I was watching it with my grandfather and my uncles and stuff, and when they would laugh, I would go like, oh, like something funny just happened.
Yeah.
And then I started, so I almost kind of learned about like the rhythm of comedy before I understood the words.
That's
You understand what I mean?
interesting.
Like, I remember
that's
my mom
interesting.
watching Seinfeld, and she was folding clothes. Like, this may be one of my first ever memories now that I think about it. And it was like, she's folding clothes and she's watching Seinfeld, and he's doing a bit. Now I go back and watch, and it was the one where he's like, where's that sock go in the dryer? And it's like up against the wall and whatever. And I remember him going like, "Buh, buh, 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 buh," and she kind of would chuckle, and then he'd go, buh, 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 and she would laugh, and then he'd go, buh, buh, and then she would crack up. And I'm like, oh, it's long thing, shorter thing, short thing, laughter. And it was like, boom, set
got
up,
the
punch,
rhythm of
tag,
it.
set up, punch.
Yeah.
And I would realize that, like, when I heard funny people talking, or like, my grandfather was hilarious, and he would just like leave everybody. He would, he ended every sentence with a punch to walk out of the conversation.
That's my dad.
Isn't it? Did you think like, so you
my
picked
dad
that
was
shit
a
up?
comedian, man. Like my dad, he knew how to tell a joke. Like he was really good at like telling jokes. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I didn't, like you said, as a kid, I didn't realize what he was really doing.
Yeah.
But like when I got older and I started like paying attention to stand up, I was like, wait, my dad been doing this shit. You know what I mean?
Right?
For years.
And doesn't that almost make it more approachable?
Oh, absolutely.
You're like, oh, this isn't, because I didn't know you could do this.
I just emulated my dad at first when I was trying to be funny. Like, I would just watch how he would make people laugh, and then I would just emulate him.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, everybody would tell, my mom used to tell me all the time, you should be a comedian. And I didn't even really know what that was, you know, because I was a kid, but she's like, you should be a comedian. You're always making everybody laugh. And then when I became a comedian, she was like, what the fuck are you doing? Isn't that crazy?
She's like, I didn't mean it.
She was like, I didn't send you to college for you to be fucking telling jokes. I'm like, but you've been telling me this my whole life. Now all of a sudden you don't want me to do it.
Did you have a big family?
I have five, it's 5 of us and my mom and pop. So it was, I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Wow.
And I'm the middle child.
You're in the middle?
That's why I'm
How
here.
was that, being in the middle? Was that cool?
For me, honestly, I liked it because they didn't really pay attention to me.
You kind of got lost in the shuffle.
So I could just go do whatever I wanted to do. And that's really who I am as a person. Like, I don't really need people telling me what to do, or like, I just would rather just go off and explore. I've always been one of these dudes that I always just want to explore and find out new things. That's how I ended up doing stand-up. Like, I can't be regular. I can't be in the box. I'm just not built for that.
Yep.
So being a middle child allowed me to really like just go out and find myself, you know what I mean? Because my parents were never really like, where's Mike? You know what I mean? They're worried about the other kids. I'm the middle child. My mother used to call me like Tony, Melvin, what the hell is your name? Michael.
It's funny too, because that's almost like
Mikey, that's what she calls me.
I was little Mike. I'm still little Mike, but I'm bigger than all the other Mikes. But I'm little Mike.
That's funny as hell.
But I feel like as a middle child too, for comedy, it's great because you automatically had to read the room. You're like, am I the adult in this? Am I the child? Am I the baby in the room?
Yeah.
Am I the, because you had 2 in front, 2 in back.
Yep.
That's pretty badass for like getting ready for comedy. See, I'm the oldest my folks had me when they were 18, they split when I was 2 months old. My dad came back. Remarried my mom and had 3 more kids. So I'm 7, 9, and 11 years older than my siblings.
Oh, that must have been crazy.
Weird. Very weird.
To be that much older than your sibling. Yeah. We're all close in my family.
I was the ring bearer in my parents' second wedding. There's pictures of like everybody in like tuxedos and I'm just pouting like, what the hell is...
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, really?
That's funny as shit.
They're like, if anybody has a reason why these 2 should not be wed, and I'm just kind of like, me? How much time we got?
That's hilarious, bro.
But no, I was like the older, so I felt like, am I a third adult? Am I an old child?
Then you got to take care of your siblings when
I babysat them a ton.
Crazy.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I wasn't asked to do any of that. Thank God. They would leave me places. Like I'm from St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands.
Yes.
And we had this thing every year that we call the agricultural fair because it's a very, it's a kind of a farming island. It's very agricultural. Agriculture is like our main thing. And one time we went to the fair and I wanted to go see the goats or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. And so I walked away from my family. And then when I came back, they were gone. So I'm like looking for them.
Wow.
I'm walking around this whole thing looking for them. I'm like, now mind you, I'm like 8 years old or something like this at this time.
Right.
I'm like 7, 8 years old. So I'm like, where the fuck is my family at? They're nowhere to be found, bro. I ran into a dude that lived because I used to live in the projects in St. Croix, and he lived in my projects. And so I was like, he was like, what you doing out here by yourself? I'm like, yo, I don't know what they left me. He was like, all right, I'll get you home. He's older than me.
Yeah.
So he was like 15 or 16 or something like that. So he got me home. When I got home, these motherfuckers was having dinner, bro.
Are you serious? Was Home Alone based on you?
Yo, they were sitting at the table having dinner, Mike. And I'm like,
God, dude.
what the?
You're the St. Croix Joe Dirt.
Yo, they were having dinner, bro.
Wow, dude.
And then my mom was like, your plate is on the stove. I'm like, what the fuck?
Are you serious?
Dude, they just left me.
They were totally like,
just like, we knew you were going to get home.
Wow. Whoa.
But I'm also in the island, so it's not like being in New York City,
Mike,
where it's
I don't
way
care.
more dangerous.
I don't
but
care.
Still, it's like, though, you don't leave a 7-year-old
No.
to find his way home.
You
Like, that
walked
was
around
crazy.
like the whole...
And if I tell you, when we bring this shit up, my mom act like it never happened.
Never happened.
I'm like, Mom, are you serious?
What
She's
is
like,
that?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Is that her protecting herself?
I think that's what it is.
Or are they just like...
She just don't want to be a bad mom.
Yeah, but they all are.
Yeah, most parents.
I mean, they
are.
fuck up. No one bats 1,000, you know? Well, speaking of batting 1,000, see
nice
that segue, huh?
Nice segue. You're a comic.
I am the oldest. I had to get people to love me still, you know? What's that hoodie you're wearing?
This is my Regulators hoodie. This is very important to me because the guy that I played for on this team, we won a championship at St. John's Park in Brooklyn in 2018. And he just recently passed away. So,
oh, man.
So, this hoodie is like, this ain't going nowhere.
It's beautiful. I've always, since I've been at the Cellar, there's like a good amount of people that like I just love running into, you being one of them, because you've always got a different conversation going when I go into the table. Like when you're at the table and you're talking, it's like, all right, I could dive right in and, but then we're sitting and bullshit and then we start to get into our mutual pasts and love and present of softball. Yeah. And the culture with which it just builds around it and how it takes over your life and takes over your world. And we geeked out on it for a little bit.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm so excited to chat with you about all of that because that's a bond that, like, you know how you meet a comic from Switzerland and immediately you have something in common? Yeah. Softball is a similar thing.
Yeah. Well, softball for me is it's kind of like part of the fabric of who I am. Like that, the thing that I love about it is and anybody that plays sports will tell you this, it's the brotherhood, yo. Like
100%.
Dude, like these dudes that I play softball, I've been playing with them and against them. Like we don't always play on the same team. Yeah. Well, sometimes we go head to head against each other, but I've been around these dudes for over 30 years, bro. Just because of our love for the game, we've built a brotherhood that it's just, you can't break it. It's just, I was just in with me and my friend, we built like a clubhouse in my boy's backyard. Like we have like a full-fledged clubhouse. Really? We used to just go there to watch football on Sundays when it was nice, and then it would get cold, and then we would stay home. So we just built, like my man Joe does, he does contracting. Yeah. So he just built a little clubhouse for us in the backyard, and now we got like 4 TVs going at the same time. We get together every Sunday. We cook, we order food, and we just chill. And this is all from just playing. I met all these dudes playing against them.
Just playing a game.
Yeah. Yeah. I met all these dudes playing against them. Now, these are my brothers for life. Like,
that's amazing, man.
For life, bro.
Oh, it's so incredible.
Sports is one of the best things. Before the money.
Of course. When you're playing for the love of it. Just for the love of it. And you're playing for fun. Yeah. And that's where softball, I mean, not like pro sports. I mean, a very, very like small amount of people go and do like, big money softball. Yeah. Well, we play money league though. Not big money. Not big money, but you're doing like.
We play money leagues.
How many teams are in your league currently?
The league that I just played in, we had, I believe, 14 teams in that league. Okay. Very competitive league, though. Like, these dudes, like, we just won it. We won the chip this summer.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Really, like, we should not have won that. Like, we were so bad during the regular season. we was just getting spanked by everybody during the regular season, bro. That's why I love this shit, man. Because it don't matter, man.
Just keep going. Keep playing.
If you believe in yourself, this is sports in general. Like, I live it through softball. in baseball when I was a kid, but just it don't matter, man. Like with 5 weeks to go in the season, my boy E came to us and he was like, "Yo, just give me 5 weeks of really good softball, and I guarantee you we'll win this shit."
Really?
And we won that bitch. We gave him 5 weeks of really good softball, and we lost one game.
Wow.
One game in the playoffs.
So was he like a player coach kind of thing?
Yeah, he's like a well, he plays. He is a player coach actually. Yeah, but I mean, he is like
The motivator.
he's like that one of those dudes on the team. You know what I mean?
He's the preacher.
But here's the crazy thing: like he will say that, but then he'll be an idiot on the field. Like,
yeah, totally right.
he'll be an idiot. So he came to me in the playoffs and he was like, "Mike, if I'm getting out of control, just pull me to the side." He goes, "I'll listen to you." He goes, I thought that was one of the dopest thing anybody's ever done in the sports game. To just say, "Listen, I know I can be an idiot sometimes."
Right.
So when you see me doing that, before the championship started, he said, "Just pull me to the side and go, Mike, and go, E, you being a fucking idiot."
Yeah. Yeah.
And he goes, "I'll listen to you." He said, "Because you know how I get."
Yeah.
Dude.
Anybody else, he'd probably knock him out.
No, he wouldn't pay him any mind. He'd
Right.
be like, "Man, get the fuck out of here. Let me do me." And then he started wilding out. And we were winning, and he started wilding out. And I pulled him to the side. I was like, "Really, dude?"
Yeah. Did he listen?
Yeah, he did. He was like, "I got you, Mike. I got you, Mike." I was like, "Really, nigga? That's what we doing?
Wow,
That's
dude.
what we doing? Like,
Man.
you being these motherfuckers. Like, why? All you're going to do is throw yourself off."
Yeah.
Because the minute he gets stupid, then he can't pitch no more.
Oh, and he's your pitcher.
And he's the pitcher
Oh,
in
God.
the championship. So then he starts walking people.
Oh, and that's
so
it.
I had to pull him to the side, and I was like, "Yo, E, come on, son."
Now, was he bugging out in between pitches? Like turns his back to the batter and starts fucking losing his shit?
Talking shit.
Oh, no.
Talking shit. Yeah,
When you're
gets
playing,
like
and you're at first, right?
Yeah, I'm at first.
Yeah, I play third, so we play the corners, you and
Yeah.
I. And watching that, you're like, "Oh man, take it easy, like calm down."
I try to talk to him, then I have to pull him to
pull
the
him
side.
aside, and then
"Come
you're
on,
like,
bro.
"Time, yeah."
Don't
Did it
fuck-"
work? Did you?
Yeah, absolutely. He got right back into his head, and he got back into his zone, and we made them quit.
You run ruled them.
No, there's no run rule in our playoffs. This is a money league. Oh. So you go to the last out.
Oh,
They quit.
they quit.
They quit.
What inning?
5th inning.
Out of
We
7?
put 16 on them in the 5th inning.
Holy shit!
And then
So
they were
mid inning, they're like,
they
"We're
were
gone."
like, when they were coming up the bat when we made our 3rd out, and they were like, "We're done. You got it."
"Wow."
Yeah, we quit. We made them quit.
Damn, dude.
We made them quit. Dog.
Is that the
I've
fir-
never done that.
I was gonna say I've never even. I've
done
rarely
that.
heard about that, especially in playoffs.
I've never heard of a team coming to a championship and quitting.
Damn.
Never.
Dude.
Well, I lost the playoff game by 30-something runs, and I refused to quit.
Of course. You keep going.
I was like, we might score 30. You never know.
You never know, dude. The sun gets
It's
in the right
sports,
place,
baby,
man.
you
Yeah.
know? So we lost a playoff game when I first started playing softball with these cats. We were playing in Kingston Park in Brooklyn, and I was with this team called the Rebels, and we made it to the playoffs. We were like one of the worst teams in the league. Like, we weren't really that good, but we made it to the playoffs. And this team put up 36 runs on us, bro.
Wow.
And then it was so bad, like they just let us hit out. They didn't even go up to bat again.
It just turned into batting
They
practice.
were just like, "Yo, y'all hit the next 3 innings. And if y'all beat us, then y'all beat us." And we, of course, didn't beat
Not
them.
even
It's hard to
close.
score.
Yeah, yeah,
Especially
30.
with a shitty-ass team.
Yeah. Now, do you
But
guys have home
we
run?
wouldn't quit.
No. Do you have home run rules? Like only a certain amount? First of all, do all your fields have fences?
Yeah.
All of them do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have home run rules?
In certain parks, yeah. Like when we played in Kingston Park, the right field fence was short, so that was a single. And then like center field was a double, and then left field was deep as shit. So that was a home run.
So if you hit a home run to center,
you have to hit it past a certain pole. There's a pole that's painted.
oh wow.
And past that pole, it's a home run. But if you hit it on like the right side of that pole,
Now,
then
see,
it's a double.
this is the shit I love about softball because it's not Wrigley Field, Fenway
No.
Park, Yankee Stadium. Every stadium, every field has their pros and cons. Man, we had one field that had a beautifully groomed infield, not a pebble, like not a pebble, Mike. It was like loam, like topsoil. but the sun would drop right behind the batter. So like when you're playing third base,
I've been in one of those
can't see
parks.
shit. And I would play bag. I would play
I've
like
been in
equal
one of
to the
those
bag.
parks, yeah.
I'm playing the first hop. I'm not backing up because early on I took a couple like off the face and off like my shoulders and shit back trying to play second hop. I want to be like a goalie up there and just boom, boom.
Yeah.
And when the sun is like right there, man. Oh,
Scary, bro.
Scary as shit. Because you got to trust your instinct, and that's it. But then there are fields where we didn't have a no fence. But if you hit it far enough, they were like, yeah, that's out. That's out. You know what I mean? So you had to adapt to every single field.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, only time I've encountered a field with no fence at all was when I played in Central Park. That's the only time. Like, most of the parks in Brooklyn have a fence.
Yeah.
Most of the parks in Queens have a fence. When we play in Cambria, which is one of my favorite leagues, because every team in that league is a Negro League team.
Every team?
Every team. You have to have a Negro League team name, yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's like a ode to the Negro League.
Oh, that's cool.
It's pretty dope. That's what I want to write the show about.
Of course.
That league.
Yeah.
Because to me, there's so much we could do with that.
Oh,
you know
my
what I
God,
mean?
absolutely.
And it's fucking competitive, bro. Like, you don't understand. Like, the dudes I play with, like, these dudes are like they go hard, bro. You know what I mean? And I love it.
Oh, it's amazing. But have you ever had these experiences? So I played in a league called the Industrial League in Connecticut one year. And basically it meant that your team had to be all employees of the same
Oh, yeah,
place.
it's Transit League.
Okay.
They have a league like that
All right.
called Transit League, yeah.
So we were playing one guy, it was for a stone company, like a stone yard that had marble and granite and slate, and two twin brothers. Great dudes, but they worked in the yard, right? So like their whole livelihood was these, right? And we're playing Subway, which is, you know, the sandwich shop. Championship game, Subway's up. One of the guys is catching, one of the twin brothers I was mentioning. Dude rounds third. Now, this is what, 60-foot base paths, right? You know? He comes barreling in, takes the catcher out. They tumbled together. He lands on the catcher's hand and just snaps his wrist. He's got to go to fucking work the next day, dude. You know, a brawl breaks out. And I don't know if he ended up staying working there much longer, because what's he going to do in the stone yard with a broken wrist, you know? So it's that thing of like, you know, we got to go to work tomorrow, but also you don't go and not try. So there's kind of that thing of like, and it's weird because, and this is where I think writing the show, I'm excited about it, is the guys that kind of have to turn off the high school hero.
Yes.
Because that's hard to do with some people, man.
Yo.
There are some, the minute they hit that field.
Absolutely, bro. I've played with so many dudes where you're like, dog, this is wreck, man.
It's
like,
wreck.
Listen, we're competitive and we want to win. And I feel you on that. But at the end of the day, it's wreck, bro. Like, you gotta call.
We're boys, man.
Dude, we've had fights on the field. Like, one time my son was in the dugout. I lost it that day because my son was in there and they started fighting and I flipped the hell out. But they're so competitive. And, you know, sometimes some dudes just don't know how to turn it off.
Can't
you know
shut
what
it
I
off.
mean?
There's
but you have to always remember, because I'm always the voice in there going, really? Really? Like, you're going to go beat this dude up, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you get arrested. You're probably going to get fired because you're not going to go to work on Monday. This is Sunday. You're not going to work on Monday. You're going to call them and tell them you're in jail. What are they going to do?
Fire you.
You're going to fire your ass because why are you in jail? Like, I don't want that representation.
No,
of my
of course not.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So what are you going to, I'm always the dude in the dugout going, dog, really?
Think about it.
Really? There's been times where I'm like, yeah, you got to knock this motherfucker out. Because sometimes they just talk so much shit that you're like, I remember one time we was playing, this is when my wife passed away. That was a very special season. We won the championship in Cambria Heights that year because we all came together. My boy Mel's mom passed away. That brotherhood, man.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, we're not losing this. We're not losing this. My man E, the same guy. His mom passed away. So it was 3 women we were playing for.
Oh.
And there was one game where we were playing against this team called the Monarchs. This is all Negro League.
Sure.
And this dude was talking so much shit. My boy Mel, he's hot-headed. You know, he goes into it. So I'm like, yo, Mel, come on, man. Like, we don't need that. Let's just bust these dudes' ass on the field. Like, we don't need this bullshit. And the dude just kept talking shit. And finally, I go, Mel, get that motherfucker. He went in on this dude. This motherfucker started shivering on the field. And I was like, you know what? Just do you, Mel. Do you. Because he won't shut the fuck up. Just do you.
Man, sometimes it's got to be, and it's hilarious when you play those teams where it's like just a bunch of juiced up, like literally, like they're on juice, their bats are juiced up, like painted bats was the thing. Games. Where like Mikey, in certain leagues there would be you can only use a certain kind of bat. And people would get their bats painted. Yeah. So it looked like a single wall versus a double wall or a double wall versus a triple, whatever, right? And the ball, you could hear it tink, go off the bat, and it would fly 100 million miles. It would hit the moon, dude. Yeah. And we'd go, come on, check the bats.
That could kill somebody, you know?
I mean, people have.
Like a pitcher can get killed because the mounds in softball are so close.
It's so close.
When you're using a juiced up bat, if you hit that shit up the middle, dog, you could kill a pitcher.
Literally kill a pitcher.
I play in Central Park still.
And
you do? The refs bring bats. There's
have to
two
now.
Bats that you could. Both teams have to use.
You're kidding?
You have to now. My league that we just won the chip in, you have the league gives you.
The
bats
league provides the bats.
Dude, I played in
because you can't trust people.
You can't, bro. Yeah. I played in who is this? Ridgewood. We had a league in Ridgewood. Dog, we was dominating that league. The team we met in the championship, we bust their ass during the regular season. Dog, they come in. These dudes are flicking their wrists and hitting the shit out the park.
Oh. Did you call on it?
Absolutely. Here's what the umpire says. He don't know how to check for a loaded bat. Why are you an umpire, bro?
I mean, it's not... wow.
Why are you an umpire if you don't know what a loaded bat looks like? Just look at these dudes that are hitting the ball out the park. You got the littlest dude on the...
Just fucking ripping them.
Some little dudes don't have power. I'm not saying that.
Sure,
but these are dudes that weren't doing that in the regular season.
Right.
Now all of a sudden they flick their wrists and the shit is jumping out the park.
Wow.
And they're all using the same bat.
They were all using that one juice bat.
And we kept saying, yo, they're all using the same bat.
Let us use their bat and we'll find out what's going on.
And that's what we said. They wouldn't let us use their bat.
That's crazy. We had a guy
said that. We were like, yo, let us use the bat.
That is fucked.
Championship game, team before us, one of the guys threatened to pull a gun on somebody, and they suspended him for a game.
One game?
Yeah, and I saw him the next season. I was like, I'm not playing. I'm not playing with a maniac like that.
Yeah, wow.
It's crazy.
It's just insane.
I've been in leagues where dudes went and got guns. We've had like fights like when we won the championship in St. John's Park that year, we got into it with another team. I don't even know how the fight started because I don't get involved in that. Like, I just play. You know, I like the competition. I don't like that rah-rah shit. But these dudes was getting into it. And then my man, these two dudes got into a fight. They got into a little tussle. My man went and called his brother, and his brother came with a pistol and caught the dude in the dugout. And I was like, is he really about to shoot this dude and kill him right now?
Over softball.
I'm like, are we really doing that? And I was like, yo, because I know, my man's brother. So I was like, yo, talk to your brother. Like, what do we...
Yeah.
Dog. And there's cops out there. Like, I play with cops.
Yeah.
Like, if you shoot this dude right now, first of all...
You're going to get arrested by your coach.
You might not get arrested if you just put the gun away and walk away.
Right.
Because, we know these dudes.
Sure,
you know what I mean?
Sure.
So it's like, and we know who the ignorant ones are and all of that. So it's like, when these dudes are cops and they play in the league, they try not to be a cop all the time.
Right.
They just want to play.
Right.
Now you're putting them in a position where they might have to pop your ass.
100%. Yeah, they're like, really? You're going to do this to me?
Like well, I came out here to have rec, and this is what you're doing?
It's like the one time they shouldn't have to think about that shit.
You know I'm out here.
Right.
You know I'm police. Why are you doing this?
That's insane.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
And man, I'll tell you, it's this thing about I've been a bat boy. I was a bat boy on my uncle's teams in the early from as long as back as I could remember. And it was always like wives and girlfriends and shit. sitting on either side, mouthing at each other, and then that would start beefs that would end up going way into the back. And everyone's drinking in the parking lot, and who's carrying shit from wherever over, and fights happening, and all that breaking out. And it's just this thing of like, wait, isn't this supposed to just be fun?
Yeah. Sometimes it gets
like,
crazy.
Isn't it? But it does. It
but
gets.
For the most part, though, almost every Sunday, because I only play Sundays now. I used to play a lot, but I'm too old for that shit. Almost every Sunday is just we play ball, we bark at each other on the field, and then we go cook. You know, we always have a grill going outside the park.
Yeah.
We got drinks.
Yeah.
We got beer set up.
Yep.
And then we sit in our little fold-up chairs and we talk shit and eat and just be a family. Like, I'm hanging out with dudes that I just went to war against.
Yep.
But the game is over now.
Gloves are down.
Everything, it's like that's why I respect like MMA fighters or mixed martial arts fighters so much, because they'll go into the ring and try to kill that person. And then as soon as that last bell rings, they kneel, they show love and respect, they hug each other,
hold each other up.
Yeah, it's love, you know? It's like we just went to battle, we just did something, you know what I mean, that fed our spirits.
100%.
That's what softball does for me, it feeds my competitive spirit, so I can never give it up. I'll play that shit till I'm 60, 70 years old.
No, yeah, 100%. And also the thing that it does is like, what you're saying is, and I'm not a church person, but softball's been that.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's kind of like a fun, it's a not a coincidence probably that it's like Sundays is that
Ain't
day.
that crazy?
You know what I mean? Where it's like, that's the community. You guys eat together.
Yeah.
You play, you go to war. Families are there. Kids are probably running around playing with the bat. The bats are too heavy. They can't even get them. It's like the next generation.
In between games, they're on the field, running around.
Pitching to each other and shagging fly balls and shit.
Beautiful,
bro. Man, that's really amazing.
It's such a beautiful brotherhood that we have. And there's so many, like the dudes that I just won a championship with, I've been going to war against these dudes for years.
Yeah.
Like, I've been fighting against them. We bust their ass in championships. And now I won a championship with a lot of those dudes.
That's so great.
It's so beautiful, man, because no matter what, we all are there to feed that same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it don't matter what squad you on. It's really just about the competition and the going up against another brother.
Just having a good time.
And seeing who comes out on top. And then we sit down and we eat. You know, we fry some chicken, we get some fucking...
Play some music.
You know, fry some fish.
Yeah.
You know, play some... Oh, there's always music. There's always music. It's a family thing.
It really
I'm telling
is.
you, dude.
It's church.
And you'll have like... hip-hop music here, bachata right here. It's crazy, especially that league in Brooklyn. It's crazy. The dudes that we just beat for the championship, all Dominican dudes. I can't believe they quit. I've never seen Dominicans that quit.
I'm still kind of blown away that even happened.
I've never seen Dominicans that quit playing ball, bro.
I've seen anybody
Never.
that's played.
They said, all right, that's it, Papa. You got it. Wow. We was like, what?
I don't understand that.
No mas. And then we just all sat outside. We played our music on our side. They played their music. They ate. They shared food. They were like, yo, you want some pernil or whatever they had? And we was like, yo, we got some fish. And then we just share food with them. And we just vibe out and just chill.
In a world where everything is divided.
Oh, my God. It's such a beautiful moment.
Look at that
Sunday,
microcosm of everything. Like, if everything could be like that. Imagine if Congress, was like, hey, we're eating this. Would you like to try some of that? Play your music? Absolutely not, right?
We can only do that as, most people in a group think it's sad, but
it really is.
When you have people just accepting everybody else's humanity, then the vibe is dope, bro. We had a white team come to our league in Cambria Heights, our Negro League team, that were all white, a bunch of Italian dudes. Came in there and they were killing it. They lost in the championship, but they were killing it. Yeah. And they would fucking hang out with us.
Of course.
Afterwards, and we would just fucking
You're all playing. Yeah, you're in the... Yeah.
We went to war. Okay, you won, I won. It don't matter now. War is over. You hungry? What you want? We got some fried fish. We got some.
They're like, we got fried mozzarella. We got fucking meatballs and sauce.
We got some fucking lasagna. What y'all want? Yeah, man.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. It's an equalizer, and it's fun, and
that's sports, though, man.
That's sports. You're exactly right. That's like when you see a runner from one country not worry about the title, but like, come here, let me help you get across the finish line. Like, that's humanity, and that's the shit that matters. You know what I mean?
Sports breeds that, though.
It really does.
You know, because when you get on that field, this is the beautiful thing of it. When you get on that field, like, you're the same now. You know what I mean? Like,
All
you're
equal.
talented, I'm talented.
Yep.
Let's see who fucking wins.
Yeah. Yeah.
And once you get up against somebody that brings that to you, this is what I've learned from just playing sports. You respect that person, and they respect you. And that's where it starts for me.
Yeah.
So we could have a white team come in. If they come in and they're pussies, then we're not going to respect them.
Right.
Don't come in here whining.
Right.
Come in here and play ball.
Right.
Talk shit. Go at us.
Yeah.
Because we coming for you.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
come, bring it.
Yeah.
And when that team came in, they brought it. These
That's
fucking dudes was beasts.
Hell yeah, dude.
They were beasts, yo. They were beasts. We won the chip that year, though, but they were beasts.
Well, that's a very important year, like you mentioned. You know, when you're playing for something and it like brings you guys together.
that was big.
I'll tell you what, too, though, it's an interesting thing where it's like, as much as you're like maybe chippy with them, if someone makes an amazing play, and you go, dude, great,
gotta respect
great
that.
catch.
You got to respect that.
And that's where you know that, like, I love this team. Because
Yeah.
then there's other teams. Man, I can't tell you how many times it's like you're watching a guy, grown man, you know, his kids are watching him. And maybe he pops up. He's like trying so hard to hit one out, and he pops up and he takes his bat and just like throws it against the fence and acts like an asshole. And it's like, buddy,
Dude, calm down.
You just took the whole vibe of this thing down. Like, there's like a lot of us are like smoking joints before we go out there because it's mellow and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And here we
It's
are,
rec
like
at the
it's
end of the
rec.
day.
And this dude's throwing his bat and swearing,
can't
and
take
people's
that.
kids are there, and it's just this whole thing. But I love that, like, the wives become part of it, the kid, the family. Like, it's like it really is like a beautiful experience when you're in a league where people are like, you know, there's always one asshole team that everybody kind of collectively hates.
Yeah.
It's like a cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like a neighborhood where you could be like, oh, those people are fucking
Yeah,
stupid.
that was Mo Better for me when I played at Kings of Fire. I fucking hated Mo Better because they were so good. They were so fucking
and they
good.
knew it.
But they're cocky about it. And their coach was like, you know, this dude was actually quite impressive. He played quarterback for Pitt, and he got benched the year Dan Marino signed. He was their quarterback before Dan Marino got to Pitt.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was on another level with his competitive
Coaching,
and there was
like his
things
whole
that
life.
he would be doing, and I'd be like, "What the fuck is he doing? We just want to play," but he's mind fucking you.
Yeah.
Like he would approach the game from a mental aspect of it. Like, how can I get them off their game? And that's why they won so much, because he would like
He was playing chess with you.
Yeah, he was playing chess. He was
Yeah.
playing chess, which is cool, you know. But I hated them for that. I hated
Yeah,
them
you're
for
like,
that.
it's
I just
whack,
wanted to
bro.
hit, bro. I just want to hit. Why you keep stopping?
I know.
Bat?
Just let me get my chops.
Yo,
in.
you would be in. Like, if I came up, right, and I got 2 hits early in the game, the next time I come up, he would call timeout. He would call timeout, go talk to his pitcher. Or he would go talk to the umpire. Like, just to break my rhythm. Yeah, I hated him for that.
Wow.
But they won a lot of championships.
He's
though.
trying to be Bear Bryant. You know what I mean? He's got college football coach brain where he's just like,
Exactly.
I want to, like, he's taking it to a whole other level.
It's
man.
like all of us didn't play on that level. Like,
I know.
stop. Understand who you with.
At the most, how many nights a week were you playing at the most?
I'll tell you this. I once played 8 games in a day.
Whoa. 8?
8 games in a day, because each league was 2 games. So I started like 8 in the morning.
Holy shit.
And then I would play 2 games, run to City Park, play 2 games, run to Lindsay Park, play 2 games, and then play a night game in St. John's Park. So at the most, I've played 8 games in one day, one Sunday.
God damn, dude.
And I got, you know, when your muscles have absolutely no moisture in it,
Yeah.
and you go to straighten out your leg, and the hamstring just go, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
Yeah.
I was in the house, and my girlfriend at the time, I just started screaming She was like, "What happened? What happened?" I was like, "I can't straighten my leg. I can't straighten." I caught a Charlie horse.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
those are so
I had
painful.
to just lay down on the floor, bro.
Oh, those hurt so much.
Oh my God,
it's like an ice cream
so
headache.
dehydrated.
It's like an ice cream headache in your leg, dude.
Oh my God.
It's the most unbelievable pain.
I never did that again. Never
No, that's
played
a
that
lot
many
of games,
again.
dude.
That's a lot of games.
Now, did you play first?
And I was playing at that time. I was playing third. I was pitching. I wasn't playing first base on any of those teams. I played shortstop on one team in City Park, third base. I pitched. So my body was done, bro.
God,
but
man,
I loved it. So I loved the game so much, bro.
And when you like, they're like, you want to play in this league, and you go, yeah. There were times when I
say yes.
Of course, you say yes, and then you figure it out.
Yeah.
And then like, there were so many times where it's like, I had a sales job when I first started playing softball.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have like appointments. And I remember there was one, we had to like close a big deal, and it was on the other part of the state, but we had playoffs. And I'm like, yo, I got to move this appointment, like, you know? So I had to pull some serious maneuvers. And I'm like talking to the player coach of my team. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to be way up.
Really
like, I don't know if I'm going to make it in time. And they're like, you better fucking be here. So I was batting cleanup, playing third. Like, I had to be there. And I remember going to the manager, and I'm like, is there any way that we can move this appointment? And then they ended up canceling it, thank God. So I didn't have to fucking deal with it. But like, yeah, there have been times when I was breaking many laws. Driving, putting on fucking cleats, taking off like work clothes, putting on cleats while driving, and just so I could get there and run right out and play.
I love it, man. I remember I was when I was on the radio show, I was playing for the in Cambria. I was playing with the Clowns, and we made it to the championship, but I had to go do the radio show in San Francisco.
Oh man!
So when I got to San Francisco, I was like, "Listen, man, no, I wasn't a radio show. I got booked to do a show in San Francisco, and stand up, doing stand up.
Yeah.
So I was like, yo, I need to get back to New York, like." So is there any way like I could get on early and then just hop right out of here and get to the airport?
Catch a flight
I was
home.
going to catch a red eye, like right back
Yeah.
to New York. And they were like, well, we'll see what we could do. They got me out of there early, bro. I jumped in a fucking cab. I went right to the goddamn airport, bro. When I got there, the fucking flight they just closed the door, bro.
Oh no, you missed the flight.
I missed it. I was so hurt. I didn't make it to the chip. I made it later on that day.
Oh no.
I didn't make it to the chip, and we lost because I was pitching my ass off.
And you'll
that
never
year, too.
forget that.
I'll never forget that, bro. My brothers still bring that up. They still bring that up. If you was there, we would have won that chip.
Oh man.
Because my man E had the pitch, and he's a hothead, and don't
you're
listen
not there
to
to
nobody.
tell him.
And I'm not there to tell him to shut the fuck up. And so. So he had to pitch all 3 games. And that messed us up, man. I was pitching my ass off that year, bro. The knuckleball was on fire that year. I was killing them. I'm telling you, I was killing the league that year.
I pitched knuckleball too.
That's why I tried to come back. I was like, yo, I got to get on this plane. I fucking saw, what's his name in the airport? It's weird. The dude from Saved by the Bell.
Screech?
Screech. I saw him, he was sleeping in the airport.
Yeah. You know, he's one of the
it's hilarious.
He's one of the first comics. Well, he's gone now, right?
Yeah, he passed away.
That was one of the first gigs that I ever hosted. Was I won some contest and I got to host for Screech.
Really? That's so funny.
It was very weird.
We was in the fucking airport just fucking
I want to play.
off.
I want to play some year with you, man. If it's okay, if you guys ever
absolutely.
need like
you know what position you play? You said third.
well, third, but also like I'm good at in the outfield.
Oh,
I'm
okay,
good.
cool. We always use outfielders.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd
definitely.
like to. It's been a minute, but I'd love to get back in. And man,
Definitely.
I miss it.
But when you come there, bring your alpha, baby. Don't be out there being no beta.
Hell no.
Because these dudes will run right the fuck over you.
Of course.
Yo, when we was playing in the playoffs, we had this young team, bunch of young Puerto Rican dudes. And they just kept talking shit to us. They was like, yo, these old dudes don't belong on the field with us. We was like, what?
Wow.
Do you know who the fuck we are? Dude, they kept calling us old. And guess what? We spanked the shit out of them.
Yeah.
And we was like, you say, you know what old dudes, I said to the coach of the team, I said, you know what old dudes do? We don't talk.
Yeah.
Y'all talk.
Yeah.
Y'all think y'all could talk people out of out of their games, but we grown men.
Yeah.
The words you say have absolutely no meaning over
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Because I know what I'm capable of when I get in that batter's box. I've been doing this shit forever, baby. Like, I'm about to spank y'all. Y'all know this, right? They didn't believe it.
And that's
then we
the most
spanked the shit out of them,
And that's the most enjoyable win.
that was a good one. That wasn't even the championship, but winning that series, that's a series that we won to go to the championship. But winning that series to me was even better than winning the championship because we had no issues with the guys that we played in the championship against. They were older dudes like us.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But these young boys, they was talking so much shit. I'm like, y'all need to watch y'all mouth.
Yep.
There's a reason we got here.
Yep.
Okay? There's a reason we still in this.
That's right.
You think we doing this because we can't play anymore? Watch what's about to happen.
That's how I feel about comedy, Mike.
Yeah, that's a fact. Me too, bro.
I know.
tell people that all the time. I'm like, this ain't a hobby.
We're here for a reason, man.
There's a reason
Yeah.
I'm here. You know?
You're the man, dude.
I love
Tell
it.
everybody where they can find all your stuff, and thank you so much for hanging out. This has been a quick hour. It's been an hour.
Oh, it's an
already.
hour already?
Yeah,
Oh,
man, we
that's-
blew through.
shit.
Tell everybody
Cool.
that's
It's good
listening
to talk softball.
where they can find all your stuff.
You can find me at Mike Yard Comedy across all platforms. You know, I post when I'm going to be there, when I'm going to be at certain places and stuff. Look out for it, brother.
Yeah. and you
Mike
can see
Yard
me-
Comedy.
You can see him almost any night at the Comedy Cellar.
And I'm at the Comedy Cellar a lot, so.
I love you, buddy.
Come
and
through.
we'll definitely
Love you
work
too, my
on this,
brother.
man. I'm excited. This is something that we
Nah,
have
we
to.
gonna do it.
We're going to write it.
Because
Yeah.
I feel like if we do it right, there's so many people in this country that could relate to that, bro. This is not going to be something that's like, oh, it does well on the East Coast. Dude, we do tournaments.
International.
We go internationally. We play in Dominican. We play in Aruba. We play all over. We play against teams from the Midwest. Like,
Yep.
you know.
Canada. Yeah.
Everybody.
I
We
know.
play against everybody, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know, this is a whole a little what do you call it? A section of society that people don't really. If you're not in it, you don't know about it.
Counterculture.
It's a exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I was like. It's a counterculture.
Yeah.
And when people love it, they love it. Bro.
Countercultures are my favorite kind of cultures.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't like
I don't like culture.
American culture.
No, I like
counterculture because that's when people are human beings.
And they choose to be in that culture.
Exactly.
You know?
So yeah.
This is awesome. This could have went on for forever. Come back on. We'll talk
No,
more.
no, let
Thank
me
you
know when you
everybody
need
for
me, when you
listening.
want me.
Thank you everybody for watching. New Year's Eve, I'm going to be at Comics Roadhouse at Mohegan Sun, headlining 2 shows. Get tickets at MikeFinoia.com. Happy
Mohegan.
holidays. Thank you. Bye.